All right, it is 3:30 in the morning. Oop, I don't know why that fell over. See if this thing starts. Wow, started right up. I don't even have it plugged in today. Our brake lights are working. Turn everything off. We are good to go. 3 hours and 10 minutes till we drop off. All right, gonna give her a second, warm her up. Got the back lights on, everything works. Let's just go and do a quick, sorry it is dark. There we go. So, we got lights. All my side lights work. Let's go through, no light down there because we didn't put it in yet. So let's see. Look at that. I like these new white housing lights. That one's white, that one's white. We got every light on the trailer working. We have every light on the truck working, including the marker lights. But for some reason this light went out. I don't know what happened there, but we'll run it, whatever. There you go. All right, let's get out of here. I'll figure it out later. We got our Dft Inspection. You guys can see up here, I got all this bullshit scraped off because Fleet Pride couldn't do it when I paid them to do it last year. So we got our Dft Inspection up here, and this is permanently mounted as per required for FMCSA. So you guys can see this is why I can run non-CDL. GVWR 17,000. And if you come down here on the truck, GVWR 9,000 pounds. So this is a 26,000 pound combination, non-CDL. We are underweight. We're about 25, 24.5, somewhere around there. And good to go. Also, for anybody wondering about the tail lights, because I want to get lights on the side, but at night you can see these tail lights a lot more than you can during the day. So I'm going to get some side lights for it eventually. But if you come back here, even with the ramps down, you can still see the tail lights. So super helpful. But yeah, don't want to jabber too much. Want to get going. And here's the car from yesterday. You guys can see it's all like mangled. We got the hood down and we're good to go. Let's roll. They loaded that one with the steering wheel crooked. So all good. Every light works but one. Good old New Jersey traffic. Trip went today pretty fast. We got about 10 minutes according to the GPS. Probably a little longer, but it is in red. I recognize the address, but I can't seem to remember which place it was. So, but 3 cars dropping, and we're gonna head home. Should be a pretty relatively simple day. I don't know if I'll see anything out here because I gotta go grab the 3 that are in my storage spot, and then I've booked 3 more for Monday. So it's like $22.50 total. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but you know, I'll run them smart as opposed to what I was doing before and just trying to run them and get them done as quick as possible. So we did end up making it before the sun came up and checking out loads. Guys, what do you think about this? A 2020 Ford step van. So you know it's one of the, you know what, let's see what this is. 2020 Ford step van. I usually don't type like that, but let's see. Oh, okay. 2020 Ford step van, right? Would you guys, because I know my answer, would you guys move this for $1.65 a mile at 364 miles? Because I sure wouldn't. I've seen a bunch of big loads like that paying really well. Like stuff like that is why I wanted to get a 5500 and a bigger trailer. I understand the first things that I posted before. Like I was gonna do, I could have done the school bus, but I could not have done the other thing. Obviously, I think that thing weighed like 80,000. So it was a bad example, but I do get that. But the school bus I could have done. The bigger stuff I want to be able to do, which is why I want to be able to get a bigger truck, because there's a lot of big awkward loads. Like there was an F750 dump truck with a plow on it, and I'm like, I technically can't put it on here, but I could definitely put it on a 5500 with a bigger trailer once I go CDL. So, and I'm gonna go unstrap these cars real quick, but before I do that, a lot of guys have been asking me why I'm not getting my CDL while I have this time off. And people understand that, like, just because I wasn't doing Hotshot does not mean I'm not actually out working and doing something else.
So really, one, it boils down to one, I don't have the time right now. I am busy with a bunch of other things. And two, I don't have the equipment for it. This truck and trailer is only 26,000 pounds. So until I buy a bigger trailer, or I go and, I guess I could order a bigger rating sticker, but that doesn't help my problem of I need the time to do it, which is why I said, I think I got it in like December or something, like, I don't know. You get about a year once it's in. So like probably like 2 months, I'm going to go for the test. Like once it starts getting warmer out, I'll probably go for the test. But yeah, just right now I don't have time, and it's not something I'm really hard pressed for. Yes, I do want to get my CDL right now. I just don't have the time is all. And for anybody wondering, since I got my permit before February, I am exempt from the I have to go to school to get my CDL rule. So anybody who got their permit before February 7th is eligible to get their CDL with the old rules.
On Linden Drive again, dropping off a load. Man, this oil leak is just getting worse and worse. I might have to take care of that at some point. So other than that, we are all good. Probably gonna do some maintenance on this fifth wheel at some point, some greasing and whatnot. I do hear it kind of like clunking a little bit. So this one here, these three are all getting dropped now. So I'm gonna unstrap them and wait for them, get this hood piece off. Man, crashing these things really makes it easy to get working on the engine. Look at that axle. I didn't even see this at first. This is the oil pan, which I don't know why they make the oil pans out of plastic now. Kind of stupid, but whatever. So they're gonna forklift these off. Let's see. Anybody worried about mirrors? Yes, I probably should have put a bungee on it, but there's no need. Look at that, man. This thing is all sort. That subframe not even straight. I wonder what they paid for it, which I can probably look, but I don't know what's salvageable on this thing, if anything. That's crazy. I doubt the motor's even salvageable. Here you guys can see the organization. We got everything on there. This is taped with double-sided tape now. Apparently that's legal, which I think it's stupid, but apparently that is the legal way to do it. It's permanently mounted, which makes these trailers easy to steal. So at some point I'm gonna get the VIN number engraved up, probably on a couple of places on the trailer, maybe a couple on inside the beams, just in case if I ever decided to lease this trailer out. Not gonna know. I don't know if I will or not because of the triples, but we'll see. But just want to be able to protect myself. All right, they're all off. It was super nice last night being able, once I backed the trailer and truck into my spot, I was able to just leave. I didn't have to go to the storage lot and go pick the trailer up, which takes a lot of time. So really happy about that. You guys see this driver, he wasn't really good at like lining it up here and there, but he definitely got it as close as I could possibly get it there. And I see why guys, like there's a lot of ways that you can do this, and I see guys putting it like down here. That's neat, but that would be something cool to have it down there and then have it come up, and you know, it basically would face backwards and come up here to a hook or a snatch block. So that's kind of cool, but definitely some things I'd like to go over on this trailer after working it and rewiring it. Super happy with how like all this turned out. At some point we'll replace the factory wiring, but right now all of that's still good. This is from the junction box from the factory 7-way, so this runs into all of the running lights and whatnot. So if we ever have a short again, it'll make it super easy to diagnose. And after rewiring the whole thing, I will say that I did learn a couple of things, and if I ever go to do this again, or I have this trailer long enough, you guys made some good suggestions on stuff. So you guys can see kind of like where I went over the beams, which is fine. You know, you can see even with cars on it, there is some slack, like you can see, like it's just, but I definitely could do that a lot better. So here's the other junction box here. Someone actually mentioned that they do sometimes have a tendency to melt depending on the situation, so appreciate you for giving me that info so I can keep a spare on me. But I would personally drill a hole on each side of this, on every one of them, and then put little rubber grommets in there and just run it through like that. Because the problem is if you run it under, you guys can see that if you run it under, you'll be able to see it coming through. So I didn't like that. That's why I ran it over. But you know, it's not the best thing in the world, but it works fine. So if I were to ever do this again, I would probably end up just taking if I do ever want to do it, I would probably end up just taking this whole section out, and I would pull it through on this side and then redo it and whatnot. But yeah, it works for now. It's not going to go anywhere. Brand new 7-way, all this wiring's done. So it worked out. Really happy with it. Really happy with the way that this kind of, like, I have it wrapped. I need to redo these connections at some point. So I will probably put a block like right here to connect these wires, because underneath, I think, yeah, they're getting pretty corroded. So I forgot to take care of that, but we'll do that at some point. Yeah, other than that, it's all coming together. We'll get there. Got to figure out what to do up here. Not gonna lie, I did talk to the guy yesterday about that wedge trailer, and I'm like, man, I don't like wedges, but it was a nice trailer for what it was. And people said those Wallies are really, really good trailers, and it's really built. And I get, it probably weighs like roughly 8,000 pounds. That's what it says it weighs. I don't know what the actual weight is. My trailer only weighs 6,400. So it's like, I made the guy an offer, and I like offered him like what kind of deal I would want to do on it. But at first he was all cool with it. And then, at second he's like, well, we just did pay this for it. And he's like, if you could pay this amount, like whatever we agreed on, I'm not going to say the number, and then do at least the rest of it, basically his initial investment, which is fair. And I'm a trustworthy person. I told him $350 a week, because he was like, oh yeah, we could do like, $100 or like whatever you want to pay a week. And I'm like, I'd prefer to do $350 a week, just because that's $1,400 a month, and that pays stuff off really fast. When you pay weekly on stuff and it's a normal monthly payment, it really does. This trailer, I owe yet $1,000 on it, but I own it because I have the title and everything. It is, I still do owe a little bit on it, which he was cool with that. It was just for registration purposes. He didn't want to register it and do this and that. Obviously, I'm not going to screw the guy. So I'm super appreciative that he let me do what I did with this trailer. $250 a week, $1,000 down. Really happy with that. Anybody wants to do that deal again, let me know. Here she is on the inside, all that glass and shit. I can only imagine the impact on this thing. The door's still open great. Here's the fenders, headlights and whatnot. I like this color. Okay, really. Latch is fine. Not this one. I don't know what he did. Stick. Well, laying under here on the side of the road, I found a zip tie on the ground. I was like, hey, I'll use that. Hold my ratchet strap up, because I got the spare tire up here. Someone will probably complain about that, but a lot easier than dealing with bullshit, the thing in the center. And I cut that out a long time ago anyway. There's no tire mounted into this truck because we used to run a wheel lift. So with the wheel lift, it freed up a lot of space and allowed us to put all the wiring in there. All right, they just gave us new bill of ladings. Their goal, basically, they want you to put them in the vehicles, so we got all 3 of them in. I'm just waiting now. The name of this game is hurry up and wait. If you get here early, before they open, you wait, but you're second in line. But if you end up late, now you're gonna wait even longer. So I got here at like 7, so I'm the second guy. This guy was in front of me. He's got 5 from the same broker, so we are all good. All right, so they finally moved them. They get the cars up there pretty high. I don't know if you guys can see or whatnot, but they're right there. So he's gonna, I don't understand this. Like, I've been here since 7, so he's been here before me. It's like, I feel like it just makes sense to unstrap all of the cars with your 2-hour break, as opposed to wait until they're ready to unload you to unstrap all the cars. Because we knew we were gonna unload today. Like, we had the appointments and everything set up. So I got here at 7:15ish, and it's like 8:49 now. So by the time we leave, it'll be over the 2-hour mark. On the bright side, it's only 3 hours and 15 minutes on the way home, and I'm empty. So then we just gotta go get reloaded at the storage lot, back the trailer in, we are good to go. Yo, that dude, dangerous. He almost came in there. He came over and about hit the guy behind me, and then shot over real quick. Can't tell you how many times this dude who works here has run up and down here giving trucks their paperwork. And there's a lot of trucks back there. And I'm really bored. It's 9 o'clock. I went through and did all of my paperwork. All that's done. Logbook is all filled out, ready to go, ready to get me home. Went over Central Dispatch. Pretty much everything's unstrapped. I'm
good to go. Once I pull up and they take my stuff, all the paperwork's in the cars. He's just kind of, we have the same deal, or the same broker that's doing these too. So he's literally putting all the paperwork in all the cars right now. It's like first in line. You'd think he'd want to get out of here as quick as possible. Wow, we're finally getting somewhere. We're getting our first car. He's only been sitting there for 15 minutes. Look at him go, look at him go, look at him go. Word of advice, if you know you're gonna be dropping, unhook the cars beforehand. I think that just makes sense. Especially if you know the place. Like, I know this place, they'll take the cars 100%, like no bullshit. There are a few places that might be questionable, but this place, they take the cars every time. Just unstrap them when you get here. It's just how it is. They do put a shitload of cars like right there along to block that so no one can get in. Kind of weird, but kind of neat too. Yeah, there we go. We're getting one. Durango? I think. Hard to tell. Let's use the super zoom. No, it's not. Looks like a Ford. Yeah. Look, at first it kind of looked like the new Durango headlights, but yeah, it's a Ford. Those little things are slick. Just pull up and grab them. Need one of them at the shop. Which, speaking of shop, I'll be at the shop tomorrow at some point. Need to get this truck inspected. DOT inspections are done, but according to FMCSA, I looked it up, and state inspections do actually trump federal inspections. Look at them go, getting another Prius. These guys in their Priuses. I've shipped so many Priuses with this company. Alright, it's 9:11 now. Got here at 7:15, so we're right at the 2-hour mark. Got our pictures. Paperwork's all done, it's all in. We'll get them to load it, unload it. Should be good here, actually. I could have moved up a little bit, but whatever. How many times you drop here?
It's probably about 7th time, but...
And they've all been inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only, the opposite. I've done like 4 or 5, and every one of them have been out there. Only once have I pulled in, so.
Thank you.
Makes it easy to work on.
Yeah.
Car number 1 dropped. 2 more to go. Let's see, I'm hoping he can get that Prius. Yeah, this is a sketchy spot because he sticks them forks too far through and a car catches it. I don't know. I think he knows what he's doing. Make sure there's no, let's see, don't hit it. Smart. Yeah, that thing is mangled. Alright, he said back up. All I gotta do is back up and get out of here because all the paperwork's already done. So they said no, you need to sign anything. Alright, well, I don't gotta talk to anybody. Well, I'm gonna go out and film it, but then I'm out. Alright, we're out of here. What a shit spot. That dude, he was riding the shoulder. Well, we're getting close. About 13 minutes, but we're about out of fuel. The DTE light says 66 miles, which is full of crap. It's at 1/8 the tank, so looks like we'll get about 400 miles to this tank as well. This tank's probably gonna cost like 200 bucks to fill up because it's all the way down at 1/8. If you guys are wondering what it's costing me to run basically this load, so like when I picked both loads up on Tuesday, it cost me about 75 bucks for fuel that day, and then I put 150 or 172 in the tank for today. So today cost me 172 plus a toll from
I-78 into Pennsylvania. I forgot about that one. I just paid the toll. It's not a big deal. Certainly not like the turnpike. And then I'm gonna fill up the tank today, and then that will be how much it costs to work on Friday. So all in all, 2 days worth of work, 1,400 gross, minus 20%. So what does that come out to be? I don't know the number off the top of my head. And then minus like 500 bucks. So probably for 2 days worth of work, profiting like 750, 800. Not the greatest thing in the world, but again, I'm not killing the truck. And the loads aren't cheap, I'm just deadheading back. So that's why it's so low. I could have certainly grabbed something else coming back, but I know that I have 3 cars sitting at my lot. Now, I could grab something back on Friday coming back. So we'll see. We will see what comes. I'm gonna start checking Central tomorrow. So that $700-800 would be my profit for 2 days worth of work, or 3 days. No, that would be 3 days actually. Yeah, that'd be 3 days worth of work. And then grab something coming back, which we'll see. It's like I said, it's not the greatest thing in the world right now. If fuel prices weren't so high, you cut the fuel cost in half, it brings it down to 250 bucks. That's just about $1,000 profit on 3 days worth of work. For a lot of guys, that's not shit, but for anybody that works a W-2 job, if you make $1,000 a week profit, you're doing pretty good for yourself. Now, how much does it cost me per mile to run? I'll be honest, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. It's worthless information, because no matter how you calculate your cost per mile, someone is always going to tell you that it's wrong. Always. Doesn't matter what it is. You can factor in everything in your bank account, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough. So there's always something extra. You got to factor this and factor that. So does your cost per mile really matter? Not really. It depends on how you look at it.
Steering wheel holders are getting worse and worse. People are going in like this guy here. Goes in, gets his food and everything, and then he starts fueling. Like, come on now. Look at that. Pulled out a big old bag of food and shit. Saw a drip. $5.95. That's 32 gallons. Add 105 to that if I were to fill the big boy. Well, whatever, not a big deal. Alright, so from running all those cars, there's the 404 divided by, the mileage. Which I guess I can't show. But it was 12.39 miles per gallon. Which we can improve on by adjusting the pre-boost screw, because there's a lot of pre-boost, and we're going to take some fueling out of it to kind of bring the number back up to like 14, 15-ish. Here's how we kind of set her up. I think we got her dead on. It's going to be interesting. I got it in neutral already. Should roll. There we go. All right, let's get her on here. I'm impressed. It actually reaches. So we're gonna try out this bolt down here and hope she holds. If not, not a big deal. That's why we do it on a closed and on private property. So obviously I want to upgrade that at some point. Probably gonna put a hook like right here as opposed to down there. That's kind of sketchy, but I think it'll be all right this time. Look at this angle though. Look at that angle. Cool, we have winch power. Awesome. So should be all right. We'll start pulling her up. I get that it adds power having it doubled like that, but I don't think it makes sense for what I'm trying to do, especially with this rope. If I was using a steel one, maybe, but I think I'm gonna put it back without the snatch block. One, it only reaches to like the end of the ramps, and then I had to grab it with this. And then two, like there's a lot of rub spots. Like it's gonna rub here, and then this decided it won't. Loving the e-brake. Okay, I went to film and then a second phone call came in. So we got the first one. I backed up a little bit. That is a pain in the ass. Yes, a transfer case would be nice. No, I don't have one. 410 gears would be nice. But this one, when it starts, it dies when you take the jump pack off of it. So I'm gonna see if I can't get it into neutral and just winch it up as well. My jump pack's being a pile and I don't feel like dealing with it. And then the RAV4. The RAV4 I was not able, no, I forget it or not. I don't think I was able to get this one started either. So there is, we'll just have to use this guy here. All right, no electronics needed. We had our little nub here, so it is parking brake off, and we're gonna roll it. Should be able to get that out of the way. Start pulling it. I keep losing the remote. Oh, I think it's in my pocket. Nope, it's not in my pocket. No idea. I gotta go find the remote, whatever I did with it. If I had a single winch cable, this would definitely be a lot easier. I need one side. Oh man. All right, here we go. Just getting her nice and slowly. Just undid my pin. Look at that. Undid my pin remotely. Now, to my understanding, the only really advantage of these cables is that they don't kill you when they let loose. So now I can turn the wheel and follow her straight up. All right, we're clearing everything minus that hook there. I'm gonna grab that. That is the shitty thing with the J-hook bridle. You gotta watch every one of them. I wish that when they sold bridles, you can see here, sell it with just the hook or these. Don't sell it with both. Coming from a former tow truck operator, I hate the ones that have all of them on there. Hate it. Look at that. See? Now it's gonna catch on something. It's moving fairly well though, for what it is. Watch it slide down there and catch. Oh, look at that. Caught. And if it hasn't yet, it will. Now what I'm gonna do, try to leave it on there. Well, all we're gonna do now, let's go from here. They're gonna take these off with a forklift anyway. So I'm gonna get in here, knowing that the chain's good. I'll get her back on. Look at it. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Simple trick, by the way. If you guys want to pull a car on and don't want to sit in it, put the e-brake down a couple clicks. So if it starts to roll, it's not going to roll at full speed. Now this I'm not worried about till it hits that ledge. Then I'm going to get in it, but I want to watch this cable. Thing's doing fairly well for what it is. And it's missing. All right, well I'm going to get in it and then back it up a little bit. Last one, they're all up there. That car I need to pull forward a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this one up there, give me just enough room, and then when I back it up, hopefully I can roll that a little bit, just to get it away from the Prius a little bit more. So let's see. I think this is the one that I'd already modified it. So all I gotta do is come over here and take this key that doesn't reach. So I'll just take, you can see right here, I'll just stick any old key in there. Look at that. See, I couldn't do it with one hand, so now brake's loose and we'll start chugging along. Fucked up the positioning a little bit, so I'm gonna let the e-brake off, pull forward a slight bit, and then we should be able to readjust from there. So if it wasn't for it being doubled up like that, this would be a lot easier, but it's definitely a lot easier on the winch. I definitely notice a difference from the old style to this. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Moved up a little bit. Seems like the car came with it. Oh man. I know it moved a little bit. How much slack is on here? Oh, definitely probably dragged it. Shit. Alright, here's how we're gonna have to do it. In the meantime, yeah, I hate these. We'll definitely have to find a nicer way to do this. My old setup was definitely more defined, but I do get to use a nylon cable. Yes, I am fucking that cable up, I know. They're cheap enough. I'll get a second one here at some point. And then, gosh dang it, look at that. Look at that caught right there. I'll get a second one at some point. Maybe one that's a little bit shorter. I'll have to look and see what size I bought and know that I need to take off like 20 some feet. Yeah, definitely. That cable is definitely not happy. Let's see what's gonna be more fun here. This twisting or this? Oh, look at that, we got ramps. Oh, better pull that in tight. There we go. Cool, so now we'll just need to put the ramps on correctly. I want to pull the bridle off and put the bridle on this thing correctly as well. Get rid of the bridle and then just use that. Look at that. Should be all good. I think it's coming up straight. And just verify. See, I was looking at this side. I may have to turn the wheel a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the wheel a little bit to the left. All right, so I forgot to film it, but I did get the cars up on there evenly. I didn't strap the back two down. I'll do that tomorrow because I'm taking them on Friday. I gotta go get the truck inspected state-wise tomorrow. So state inspection, and then should be good. Everything's pretty good. I gotta get that right light fixed as well. But we're gonna go put some speakers in my fiance's car, and yeah, she hasn't had speakers in. The thing sounds terrible. It sounded like that forever. But other than that, I'll show you guys tomorrow what's going on with the trailer. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next video. Don't forget to stop down below. Check out my affiliate links for Amazon, Coinbase, and Mudflap. Go check that stuff out. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to dislike, unsubscribe, and do what you do. Appreciate you. See you.